Hello and welcome to the Aisha I Am Woman show where needed conversations happen. I am your host, Aisha, and I am so amazingly excited and delighted to be joining you this evening right here at 6:30 every Sunday evening where we talk about needed things, needed conversations we need to have in life and how to rebuild ourselves and how to do better and empower ourselves as women, young girls, and women, and how we become better, how we become equipped to handle this life and handle it better. So we just talk about things, and tonight we're going to dive into a conversation about rebuilding from where you are. Rebuilding from where you are. Sometimes we go through transitions in life and we have different things, different peaks, different valleys that we have to face. And we're going to talk about how do you rebuild? How do you get it back together? How do you put the nail in the ground, the hammer in the ground, and start it over again and start it over again. We have to be able to do that in order to be successful in life. Nothing in life comes for free. Nothing in life comes without a sacrifice. Nothing great in our lives comes without putting in time and effort and giving our best. And so tonight we're going to be talking about how do we rebuild? How do we get it back together? Sometimes we lose it. Sometimes it goes away, and sometimes we have to put ourselves back in the fight and start over, start to rebuild our lives. We have to get our scaffold out, get our ladders out, get our hammers out, get our belts on, and start it over again. And if God graced you to be able to have your life together one time, He can grace you to have it together again. He can grace you to be able to put your life back together again. And so I'm honored and excited about this conversation we're going to have tonight. And I have my very, very dear friend who will be joining me in the conversation. And hey, this is becoming almost a habit. And we're just. Oh, come on, Lynn. We're going to dive into this conversation. They're introducing my very dear friend Lynn Ryder again tonight, who's going to be joining me as we talk about this needed conversation. This is the Aisha I Am Woman show where needed conversations happen. We're going to be talking about rebuilding from where you are. And we're basing this out of Psalm chapter 71, verses 20 to 21. And, it talks about you have made me see many troubles and calamities. And God, we have sometimes, like I said, we go through things in life. We have made me to see many troubles and calamities, and you will revive me again from the depths of the earth. You will bring me up again. You will increase my greatness and my comfort again. God said He will do it again. If He did it one time, He'll do it again. And so I'm so grateful for again. Oh my God, I'm so grateful for the once again that God gives us. And every day He gives us an again. He gives us time and effort. And if we put in the effort and if we give ourselves the best that we got, God can give us an again. So I'm just going to declare that tonight over your life and say that God will give you an again. Lynn, come on, dive into this conversation with me as we're going to talk about rebuilding from where you are. Come on, how did God do this thing for you? And again, how did He give you an again? Come on now.
Well, thank you, Aisha, for even having me. Talk to me. She's Gretchen. She keeps it on their third grade.
Yeah.
I'm excited about this topic because when you said that He can rebuild again, it automatically just did something in my heart because that He'll do it again. Let me tell you, bad times do not change God.
My God, bad times don't do what? Tell us that again.
God's plan.
Bad times do not change God's plan. I love it.
Jeremiah 29:11. For I know.
Yes.
I know the plans I have for you. Plans to prosper, harm you. Plans for good, for hope, for future.
Yes.
So I'm that many of you know both of our stories, but just how God has allowed us to rebuild again and again. And so I really believe it starts with a grateful heart.
Yes.
Good in the bad, because early on, is someone always has it worse than you.
That's right.
No matter you have it. So I think one of the first steps to rebuilding is being grateful and keeping a grateful heart.
Mm-hmm.
One of my friends about a year ago to write down the 3 Ds.
Mm-hmm.
And just write down, or not 3 Ds, the 3 things. So 3 things to be grateful about every day.
Mm-hmm.
Purpose to do that day. But then 3 things just to meditate on to become better. So I really believe it starts with being grateful. Period.
Period. With a grateful heart, God will do a great thing. With a grateful heart, God will do a great thing. That's grateful, and then God can fill us up. If we are full of gratefulness, God can give us great things in our lives. So I absolutely agree. you know um and so we're talking about rebuilding and putting our lives back together again, doing it once again. So it starts when we rebuild. Sometimes we have to begin with our foundation. What you said, the foundation of it all is being grateful, having a grateful heart, being grateful in our spirit, being grateful in our mind, and all the things that we're supposed to be doing. Being starting there, being, like you said, having a grateful heart. That is our foundation. That's from the place from which we will build. We will build from having a grateful heart. We will build from that. And so that is where we're going to start. We're laying the foundation. We're laying for how do we rebuild. You know what? It's funny how you said being grateful, because, you know, when we do, sometimes things are just going horrible, right? They're just going all out of whack. They're just crazy, right? But you know what I found when I start to say, God, I thank you. I just thank you. I thank you now. Sometimes I can't thank you for what I'm going through, but while I'm in what I'm going through, I'm just going to start saying thank you. And when I start to do that, my heart, even if the circumstance doesn't change, my heart and my perspective starts to change, and it starts to unwind all that tension that we built up in our lives and in our minds and in our heart. And so as that's built up and we start to be grateful and say thank you, it starts to unwind, and then we can hear more clearly. We can hear more clearly.
Gretchen, but I have to really, me, I'm very transparent and very raw.
Yeah.
So even though I think it begins with having a grateful heart and keeping one, I think the foundation of all is I think it all starts with the foundation of your faith, and then when it punches you in the throat and stuff, how build or keep building upon what you already know in your heart. Let me tell you, because when Nick passed away, talking about being thankful, I remember the time I went to church, and somebody was lifting their hands, and I literally, it wasn't because I was mad. I think I was in shock.
Yeah.
I couldn't rejoice. I couldn't find anything to be grateful about. I just literally sat in the back and cried.
Wow.
And I didn't, about 6 months after he passed away. So then I went to another service. And I remember, okay, Lynn, I could start to feel the Holy Spirit kind of softening me up. I remember standing there, and I couldn't lift my hands because there was nothing joyful in my heart. Right? My baby was gone. There was nothing joyful, and I couldn't raise my hands, but in my spirit, I was worshiping.
Wow.
So I was just worshiping. And I remember there was an older lady at the time. She was probably in her mid-60s. She had known the leader over Grief Share. That's another step to rebuilding, getting connected in people in groups that people can help you. But she was friends with the leader. Declared that I was a widow, but she didn't know me. So as I'm crying and I'm just standing there, she just leans over to me in the middle of service and she said, 6 months after he passed away, she said, "You aren't still grieving, are you?"
Oh, wow.
I don't know the lady. So I looked at her like, Joker, let me glad I'm even in here, right?
Right.
So for me, it was, how do I get back to really believe in Romans 8:28?
Yeah.
All work, bad or good. And I love the word you used earlier. I remember going down to the front. I knew, and to me that meant I surrender. Okay, laying there on the floor, just saying, "Okay, Lord, you won. I'm broken.
Wow. Wow.
I'm broken."
Mm-hmm. Mm. Wow. Lord, you
Yeah.
won. Now, yeah, that's powerful. When you say, okay, God, you won. Like Jacob wrestled with the angel, and you say, I won't let go until you bless me. We're wrestling sometimes, and we're fighting God and saying,
Yeah.
no, I want my way, or I don't know. I don't know what to do. And these challenges and these things come at us, and I mean, we're hitting the rock bottom, hitting the place that is very difficult for us to see our way out of. And
Yeah.
like you said, God, you won. Lord,
Yeah.
I don't know what else to do. I have no more answers. I don't have anything more to say. I mean, you could lay on the floor. Many times I would just lay on the floor and just cry and grieve within my heart and my spirit, soul just broken. And the Bible says that God, a broken and contrite heart, He will not despise that. He's not going to put me away when I'm broken and I'm contrite and I'm just shattered. He won't do away with me when I'm there. And while we're in that place, we can learn to just say, okay, surrender, give up. Oh God, I give up.
We can learn. So mishap,
Mhm.
past, tragedy, it's all to show us how to learn, right?
Mhm.
It
Mhm.
it is how we learn.
Yeah. Yeah.
It really is.
Mhm.
So when you talk about mishaps, that's how we grow if we want to.
Yeah. 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 If we
We
want
can
to.
be better,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm. So
Yeah.
like we have to, like you said, if we want to. And so one of the things that I have learned that whenever I'm getting ready to build and redo and redesign my life, I start writing. I start
Mhm.
writing out, and one of the first things I do, number one, is write the vision. Where do I want to be? Now, I would
Yeah.
tell somebody all the time that I am so I love to take pictures, right? I love to capture moments. Jim Rohn talks about that. Whenever things are going on in life, make sure you capture the moment. Just take a picture of it. So that helps me to write the vision for my life because when I have the pictures and I look back, what I have to do, I have to. My Facebook always does this for us, but I've been doing this. I take pictures and I look at this year and I compare where I was this year to where I was last year or 2 years ago. And I have to measure my own growth. And that's so important to me that I look at the pictures and I be able to say, well, I'm not there anymore. I've grown past that or I've developed in this area and I've gotten myself together in this area and I can move forward, and I try to do that. I try to make sure that I'm looking at my life and assessing things. And I was talking to someone earlier today and we were talking about growth and being stagnant. I said stagnation makes me itch. You see, like when oh God, I'm like allergic to it. If my life is stagnant and we're not going anywhere and we're not moving, oh, I got a problem with that. I got a big, major problem with that. If I'm not, growing it and developing and becoming, there are times where I have to sit still and wait and listen and stuff. But for the most part, even in that moment, I'm writing my vision. I'm writing down what it is that I want to see in my life a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now. I'm writing the vision down. So that's like point number one why I created and I have where I write the vision. I want to encourage people to write down the vision for your life. Write down where you want to be. Start there. Start in a place where you are writing the vision for where you want to be. And if you can't see your way out of it, just imagine. When a couple of years ago, whenever I was going through separation and divorce, of course that is most difficult. Like you lost Nick in the natural and the flesh, but losing a marriage and stuff, that's death. They say divorce is like a death. It really, really is. And so I was grieving over the loss and the death really of my marriage. And so I had to. I went to. There was a behavioral health hospital right down the street from our home. Right, it was a nice place, a nice facility, and I used to pass by there. I used to have so many things going on in my heart, so many emotions and things I needed to process. That throughout the years, from the tragedy of loss of my mother and my sister, I never processed those emotions. I never went through and got those things together, and so I would pass by that place. And one day I was at home and was going through something so like, oh my God, it was like, Jesus, help me. I have no answers. Like you say, you're getting rock bottom. God, I give up. I said, I went to that facility and they began to ask me at the intake, what do you feel like you have to live for? Or what do you feel like tomorrow you want to get up and wake up for? And when I told them that, I said, I have nothing. I have no motivation to even get up tomorrow. I have no motivation. I don't see anything ahead of me. They were like, okay, we have a space for you. And so I was able to go through counseling and therapy and all that, for 6 weeks. I had a time there where I would go for outpatient care. And that is something I think that is critically important that we take not just if our arms break, we go to the doctor and get it fixed, right? But when my heart is broken and when my emotions are broken, where do I go?
That's a song. Broken
Yeah.
Heart.
Yes. Where do broken hearts go?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where do I go to get healing? And so I think it's very important that we normalize and what we keep talking about, make this thing normal. That going to get help and therapy. I'm a big proponent of that. Going to get counseling and therapy when you feel broken. You know, people will say you off or you crazy. No, 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 no. I'm not crazy. What I realize is that I'm wise and I'm smart enough to realize that I can't handle this. It is beyond me. And so when I couldn't write the vision for my life, I knew that I needed help and I needed to go somewhere for somebody to help me to regather my vision and regather my life. So
and a building is enlisting friends or support group to help walk out with you.
Yes, yes.
We're not alone.
Nobody. We are not. Yeah, well,
we're not.
No, we're not. God did not create us like that. It's not good for man to be alone. He said that in the very beginning of the Bible, in Genesis. He said that in the beginning. It is not good for man to be alone. And if man is alone, something is wrong. If you're walking through life and you're alone and you have nobody, something is wrong with that. That's not normal. That's not even God's design for us. You know, so we have to be able to write the vision for our lives when we're rebuilding and trying to get rebuilding from where we are. Write the vision. And the next thing that's important is reading the vision. Sometimes we write it down and then we don't go back and read it, right? We don't go back and study it. We have to go back and
I copied Michael Jackson when I was watching a documentary. For learner. So I had like 4 mirrors in my bathroom. I grabbed me some lipstick, and I will be healthy. I said I am, and I kept it on my mirror. And how many times you go to the washroom to comb your hair, brush your teeth, and it was always before me. So I definitely believe in seeing those affirmations and saying it out loud.
Yes. Read it, say it, speak it, declare it, and know that it has to be a part of your life. So you write the vision, then you read the vision, read it out loud, read it over and over again, and we make vision boards for where we want to go, where we want to be, what we want to have. And so when we look at those things throughout the year, it reminds us to say, wait a minute, I said at the beginning of the year I was going to have this. And if we don't have those things before us and written and we can see them in plain sight, we forget about it. You forget about the fact that I said that I wanted to have these things done by this particular time. Forget about it, and then it goes to the back burner, and then something else becomes more important. But if I'm going to rebuild my life, I have to start to, apply those things, the vision for my life. I have to be able to make sure that I'm writing it and reading it and moving on it,
Actually moving on it.
Yeah.
Grant Cardone journal, and he talks about, I think it was 6 things or even 3 things. Pick your number. It doesn't matter. Right. 5 things you want to get done that day.
Yeah.
You do one. If you didn't do the other 2, roll them over to tomorrow. And you don't try to keep building on it and building on it. But it all starts with taking those steps, right?
Yeah.
One of the other, not day by day, but moment by moment.
Yeah.
But start having how am I going to execute this and carry it out daily?
That's right. How am I going to get it done every day and keep it
Yeah.
moving? Yeah, keep
Yeah.
it moving and keep things going. Write the vision. You want to read the vision, and then you also have to set your foundation. Set yourself up. You know, set your own self up for success. Set your foundation. Lay the things that you want to have out. That's practical. Practical things
Yeah.
that you have to put in place. You know, step number three, we said we want to set the foundation. And sometimes when you're setting the foundation, that's like creating your budget and sticking to it. Yes, creating your budget, sticking to it, creating your grocery list or creating your meal plan, or however you're going to do it. Set the foundation for how you're going to progress. How am I going to go to the next level? That's actually putting things uh, out. You know, set the foundation. You cannot build a building without a foundation. You know, you cannot build a building without a foundation. And so, where are we
Yeah.
going to grow from? Where are we going to excel from? And that's actually just putting things in place. You know, if I want to create more friends, or if I even want to start doing dating or whatever, get out the house. You can't find nobody sitting in the house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go out and do something. Dress up. Put on your red dress, your high heels, whatever, the sweet perfume. Somebody gonna tell you, oh, it smells good on you. You know what I'm saying? These are things that you have to do. Get up and make it happen. Get get up and make it happen every day. Get up and make it happen. You're not gonna find what you're looking for sitting at home.
It's not. It's not going to come. You're looking
No.
for knocking on 3176.
Mhm.
You have to get right.
Yeah.
And it only if you don't take the opportunity to ask even a business partner or a company or that you want to work for, if you never ask, it's
Mhm.
an automatic
Automatic no.
automatic no.
Yeah.
You didn't try, so it's automatic no.
Yeah.
So what is other than fear?
Yeah.
What is
What is it? What is it doing?
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So yeah, do all those things. Set your foundation. Then you want to gather the things that you need. What is it that you need to make your vision come to pass? What is it that you need to make things happen in your life? Do you need connections? Do you need to network with other people? Get those things together. If you're writing a book, some people, like we're going to talk about, the wonderful book you have, and we're going to introduce that later in the show. The book you've written, Lynn. And so, if you're planning to do that in the year, you have to gather the information that you need. Like some things you need to do, like research, or put the things on paper. Start to do what you're supposed to do, and make it happen. Gather all the things that you need. Put it all together. And sometimes we just need people. Sometimes we
mhm,
need to surround ourselves with people, you know. Um, so just get it together, get things together. My aunt is writing a book. I have my book in the works, and it's on the table. So we're getting that together. But I have to gather the things that I need to make it happen. Because it's not, like I said, it's not gonna happen if I'm just sitting there. If I'm not
yeah,
doing anything about making my vision and my life's purpose come to fruition, it's never gonna happen. Oh
oh,
God, what we were just talking about. We saying, um, if, having someone. We said we just don't need people. Some people believe that as long as I got Jesus, I don't need anybody else. Oh gosh, we used to sing that song religiously, girl. We used to sing that so much. Oh my gosh, we used to tear
and,
that song
you know,
up.
and I thought about this a couple of months ago, but I heard it again today, and
Hmm.
I love Mary Mary.
Yeah.
Those, but I was listening to was it Erica who
Hmm.
sung just give me a little bit more Jesus.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Girl, he done did everything.
Everything that we need is already inside of us. The work is complete. Jesus don't have nothing more to do here on the earth. Nothing.
Sweetheart, he's
He's
oh,
done. It is finished. When he went on the glory, he said, "It is finished." I gave him everything. He had to get out of the way so the Holy Spirit could come and help us do all the things we need to do here on the earth.
yeah.
And
But Gretchen, I think a huge part of rebuilding from breakups, divorce, just bad moments in life, really comes from saying to yourself, "This too shall pass."
Oh, come on. Yes.
Myself could have told my younger self that. Breathe.
Yeah.
It will pass.
Yeah.
It's gonna for a bit. It's gonna sting. It's gonna suck, and it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a moment in time. That's what I tell when things happen. I say this is a moment in time. It is just a moment in time. That's all it is.
For sure.
Whitney Houston used to sing, that was our senior song. Give me one moment in time, and that's all it is. That is it. It's just it came to pass. Jesus said that too. It came and it came so that it will pass. It's not gonna last always. You know, you will not be in the valley. The only reason you'll be in the valley forever is if you decide to stay there. It's your choice. You know, you have a choice to get up and get out of it. You know, so after you set your foundation, gather and then you gather what the things that you need, and then you want to build. Just start building. Get up and start building. Get up and start building. Get up, man. Get up. Don't just sit there.
Building entails doing what you don't want to do so you can do what you want to do.
Come on now. Say that again, girl. Say that again.
Doing what you have to do so you can do what you want to do.
Doing what you have to do so that you can do what you want to do. Doing what you have to do so that you can do what you want to do. Everybody has, if we want to succeed in this life, sometimes we have to make the sacrifice to do what we have to do so that later in life, I can do all the things I want to do. And those sometimes come with sacrifices, things,
We're not only rebuilding for us, we are them.
Yes.
We're rebuilding for them. So I think that's a huge part that you have to know that is so outside of you. It's not just it's about your that's looking up to you. My 17-year-old son wrote me a letter the other day. He said, "Mom, you really are my hero."
Wow.
They were supposed to do a paper on role models, and I thought,
are you sure?
He's the only person I know that is so confident, but just so humble and just so frail. But you find a way to keep and making stuff happen every day.
Yeah.
You find a way. That gave me a little bit of
I'm doing it all right. I'm doing a good job, And so and that's what we have to make sure that we're doing that every day,
Yeah.
I'm watching like right now. I guess maybe I don't know if this is just this season or whatever. Maybe the season that I'm in or whatever. A lot of talk about like relationships is coming up, right? A lot of talk about how you create a relationship or how you enter in a relationship. And like I told you when we did the series on what men want, and I'm gonna come back and we're gonna redo that. But the thing about I was telling someone earlier today that the responsibility that when we decide or we want to go into relationships, we need to have built ourselves up. You know what I mean? We need to have done all the work that we need to do to make ourselves emotionally healthy, spiritually free, so that when we enter into a relationship, somebody comes into our life, that they're not having to carry our bags.
No.
I don't need leftover bags from the last relationship I had or whatever I had going on, whatever was in my past. I don't need to bring that into a current relationship, So I have to be able to rebuild from where I am so that when I meet up with that person, someone who is to be in my life, they meet a whole me.
They meet a whole new you. They don't feel like they are being punished from what the guy did to you before. And I was talking to somebody about that today. I'm like, no, I ain't trying to punish you. I'm just saying. Together and heal and give ourselves permission to time to heal. We're so impatient.
Wow.
Stuff, rebuilding relationships, rebuilding whatever. We want it so fast that we don't allow the process to happen. We're not happy with the process.
Yeah. And when you're not
Yeah.
happy with the process, you get frustrated and you quit. So you stop working on yourself and rebuilding yourself and getting yourself healthy and whole and complete. And then you
Yep.
start to focus on work, or you start to focus on your kids or whatever, and you lose that passion or the drive to fix you, you know?
Yeah.
And like we say, no man, I don't believe that people are to, be alone, although the ratio may be a little off, but, that's even in being a good friend.
Yeah.
You have to be healthy and whole and complete in being a good friend so that you're not scarring other people with your own
It's
emotions.
putting those expectations on them, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We put expectations on them. Do my bun look funny, y'all? Put expectations on them. It does look. Don't
You're
laugh.
so
When you
funny.
have all the time, you
Well,
have premature. You're gonna have premature disappointments because you didn't have any business putting those expectations on somebody you just met and expecting them to feel something that should have been filled with yourself.
yes,
Right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's very, very important. That's very, very important, so that we are doing all that we can do and all that we need to do to make sure that we're ready and
Mm-hmm.
it's right for us. A lot of people ask, where are the men? And the funniest thing when people ask that, I'm like, why do I? They're out there. They really are. Good quality men are out there. But are you a quality woman? Have you
Yeah.
rebuilt yourself or created yourself or made yourself ready for them and know what they actually want? What is their language? What is the language that they speak, so that we can learn to communicate well to one another. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, so that's even if you want to go into a career, have you studied that career? If you want to make a transition, have you studied whatever you want to go into? Have you prepared yourself for it? you know
Yeah.
when opportunity meets preparation, there you come with success. That's how you get success. When opportunity meets preparation,
But
there
what did they
comes
tell?
success.
When
And
opportunity comes, it's too late to prepare,
that's right.
and
Preparation,
that's
you have to always be prepared. Be
always.
prepared ahead of time.
Yeah.
Always be ready to give an answer, be ready to be on guard, and be doing what you need to do,
Yeah.
to make things right. And so, even that we're meeting here every Sunday night, and our responsibility is to sometimes just show up.
Yeah.
Just show up, just be consistent and be there. You never know what God has in store for you. If you're called upon, be there. Show up. Be
Yeah.
consistent. Be like, even in your friendship, be a consistent friend. Be a
Oh,
dependable friend. Be a person that can be counted on. You know, and we all make mistakes. We miss the mark, but get up,
but
try it again.
we learn.
Yeah, yeah. We learn, and so while we're getting it together and focusing on making our making our mark in this world. I think years ago when I think this month was the month that Michael Jackson passed, or it came up lately or something. It was on my timeline lately, the memory of his passing, and I said, you know what? We should be living so significantly in this world that when we leave it, the whole world stops and pays attention.
Yeah.
Everybody, even if it's not the whole entire world, the people that they stop and they pay attention. It should impact somebody when you leave
Yeah.
this earth. When you go on to glory, or you are no longer here, the world around you should say, man, golly gee, we have lost somebody of significance. They made an impact in this world. Am I making an impact? Am I?
Oh, that's what I thought about today. So there's this attorney, David Font, in Ontario, Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Cat was, I think, 35, 37,
Mm-hmm.
and I was in a little situation when I was in Canada,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to leave my ex's home. I was trying to get into this shelter, had 4 kids.
Mm-hmm.
The girl who answered, she was just like a night worker. She didn't know no better. She told me I couldn't come. I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking, okay, came from the States. I spent all this money. I can't go back home. And I called this attorney. Now listen, he did pro bono.
Mm-hmm.
And he called the shelter, Geneva House. He called them.
Mm-hmm.
And because of him, me and my children were able to stay there for like 7 months.
Wow.
But we were like deal. It was like the height of guilt. I'm making fun because it was so painful to live there.
Mhm.
But I found out he passed away like 2 years ago.
Mhm.
Somebody I spent 2 years with daily.
Mhm.
And today, I don't know what reminded me of him, but I was almost in tears crying when I was driving because of that man, me and my children had somewhere to stay.
Yeah.
So you know what impact you really are. He probably thought, and we became friends, but that was his job, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So you think, that's just part of my job, that's just what I'm supposed to do, and you never realize the impact that you made on people. He changed my life. He
Wow.
really did.
Mhm. Wow.
He changed.
Yes. Yes. So that's someone that you met, just that obviously God had in place for you to meet at
Yeah.
that particular time, at that particular moment, because He knew what you needed to make it to the next level. You know what I mean? Like we're talking about rebuilding from where you are. You started there, and there's always help. There's always somebody to help us reach up and pull us out of this moment in this season and this time and this trouble or this challenge. There's always something. God will always, they call, have a ram in the bush. When you
Yeah.
get in a place where you need it, there's always an answer. And sometimes we just have to sit still and wait for the answer.
Yeah.
Sit still and wait for the answer. There's transitions that I've had to face, or things that I've had to make adjustments on. And so I've had to grab life and say, I've never been here before. I've never been here before, but I tell you what, I'm not going to stay in a place where I'm not progressing either. I've never
Yeah.
been at this place before. So, God, what's the plan? What we doing? Where we
Yeah.
going? And so as I start to sit back in my own self and listen and pay attention and watch things around me, and then have trusted advisors. We do need
Yeah.
to have trusted advisors around us who can help us to see and to make decisions. Help us in our wisdom and developing what we need to do um, to make good decisions. You know,
Yeah.
because we are not old. We're just right at midlife. We right here at the mid mark. So life is different up here. Life is different at this age and this stage. And so but we still don't know it all, and there's somebody who's older than us and who can impart into us some things that we need to
Or it
do.
even have to necessarily be older,
Yeah,
even younger.
that's true. That's very true.
I got caught up in some stuff when in Canada. I had one of my African little girls. I'm sorry, and she used to call me Mommy Lynn.
Uh-huh.
You know better. You
Yeah.
should have just went. What you doing? So I think anybody can do anything.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, for sure. My kids, they teach me constantly.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I say the same with RJ. He can
Yeah.
drop a word of wisdom. Just listening to him, I'm like, golly gee, wow, that was profound, son. And so those things are a blessing. Like you said, they don't have to be older. They could be younger. They could be younger than you and help to you to rebuild right from where
Yeah.
you are. So
Yeah.
I'm grateful for just being able to talk about this topic, being able to talk about it's always possible. Like we said in Psalm 71, 20, verses 20 to 21, David mentions again 3 times in those 2 verses. He said it again. And so every day I believe that God will give you an again, that you can start over one more time. How do I get it right today? If I didn't get it right yesterday, I get it again tomorrow. I get it to have it again. It'll come back around. It'll circle back around. The opportunity will come again. And am I ready?
Yeah. Am I ready?
Yeah.
Because
Am I ready?
learning lessons until you get it.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Sometimes I'm like, I don't want to go through this test no more. I don't want to see it again. So Lord, help me to pass this. Help me to pass this. I don't want to see this test no more. So yeah, and so Lynn, as we begin to close out or conclude our discussion or our chat today, I just wanted you to share any closing thoughts with us, and encourage the audience, and if you have something that you want to share, just you know I know that you this lady is amazing. I really appreciate. She is my best friend from third grade, and so I'm so grateful for her that we get to chat and we get to talk, and we talk all the time.
Yeah.
But just having this moment to share over the air, airwaves about things that are going on. And I just want you to talk about the work that you're doing, some of the things that you have going on. I know you've written a book, and so I just really want to hear about that. Could you tell us about, you know, what
I've
you got
written.
going on?
I didn't bring two of them. Well, one is still being working with Amazon. It's about our curly hair.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote three other books. The one book is Life and Death, or Lost and Found, Finding Life After Death. That one's been out for a while. So it's not a how-to book, y'all. It's going. So I'm working on a how-to one with a devotional. That one is straight my memoir, because I really, I was speaking all over. I really did in the beginning not get tired, but got tired of regurgitating the story over and over, because at that time when I got on stage, I couldn't control my feelings. I'd fall apart. My voice, I didn't know how to actually get through my whole testimony without falling apart, right? So that's the other book I wrote is What Do Women Want?
What do women want?
Oh, y'all. This one. The other book I wrote is What Do Men Want?
Yes, that's good. That's good. I can't wait to dive into that.
Dating after 40.
Woo! Dating after 40. Come on now, you got to post those again. Tell us again about those.
You can find all those on Amazon. You can just type in Lynn Ryder, Lyne, and as in Bernice and Ryder, Reider.
Yes.
Trying to put my footprint on this world and just try to share just pieces of wisdom that I've gotten over the years. And Gretchen, me and you talk about this a lot, as I learned a lot through Nick's death. And it really made me the woman I am today. There's so many missed opportunities that I had, but a part of rebuilding is recognizing and doing better. That's the bottom line.
And doing better. Yes.
Now, anything goes, and I would say a part of rebuilding is prayer. It takes the focus off of you. It takes off of what's going on, and just set a time just to say, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
Like I know what I want, but show me what you want me to do. Who you want me to have in my life.
Yeah.
So I think a huge part of rebuilding is prayer.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. You've hit the nail on the head. A huge part of rebuilding is prayer. Starts there. Prayer, and like you said at the beginning, having a grateful heart. Those are things that we can all do. It doesn't cost us anything. It costs us nothing to have a conversation with the Lord. Nothing at all.
It doesn't. I tell my kids that all the time. Trouble, just go pray.
Yeah.
What does it cost?
Nothing.
So that's like this. And I said, look, God can read minds. I know He can. I'm going to speak to Him. So just have to verbalize to the Lord, right?
That's
Not just
talking, girl. Talk to Him. Give Him your heart. Give Him your conversation. Say, look, what's up? Just
one that can.
Exactly. So, yeah, that's what we want to make sure that we are focusing on as we we build and get ourselves together. I talk about a lot. I'm a big proponent and advocate of behavioral health and getting our emotions together and counseling and therapy within our community. That is, we need to destigmatize that and make sure that we are taking our emotional health very seriously, and making sure that we're focusing on it and keeping it at the forefront of our minds. And
because if you don't, it can be detrimental to your health.
Yes.
We were not being able to unpack our emotions, it can hurt your health.
Oh, absolutely. I'm a living witness of that. I believe that, at 34, I was diagnosed with lupus, and so lupus is is one of the most weird and strange conditions you could ever have, because it affects so many different things, and it's such a mystery. And I believe that part of it was developed because of unhealed pain within. My body started firing off at itself, and at 9 years old, I started grieving. I started grieving with the loss, kidnapping and death of my mother and sister. grieving then and not letting those emotions out, not knowing how to get them healed, and not knowing how to address the pain I felt. I was a stuffer. I'm a stuffer. I stuff down my emotions. I pat them out. Like me and you, we have different ways. You will let it out and you will say things about it. I pack
Yeah.
all the stuff down. And so I believe that if we do that, it can affect like you said, affects our health. It really does.
Yeah.
Like I said, my body starts to fight itself. And so over time, when you do that for so long, uh, something's gonna happen.
Right.
Something's gonna happen. And so um, we just have to take it very seriously. And at 34, of course, within the last year or two, I've taken even more seriously into the next level on making sure that I want to graduate from therapy. You know what I mean? Because you are supposed to graduate. It's not supposed to be another crutch for you. You know what I'm saying? No, it's not an addictive thing. You are supposed to graduate from therapy now. And so
Yeah.
and so you're not going every week or every 2 weeks. Eventually you go every quarter or annually, to get a checkup. So get yourself together, man. That's very important, I think,
Yeah. I'm
especially for
sorry.
us. Go ahead.
Well, I was just saying, even though we do graduate from therapy, it goes back to enlisting those friends
Yeah,
who can
absolutely.
do when your therapist is not available.
Hmm.
You wouldn't answer my call at 2 o'clock in the morning. You would have.
Yes. Hmm.
I
Yeah,
think you could talk
yeah, yeah,
really to somebody you can trust.
yeah, absolutely.
Well,
That's very true.
not pass judgment will help you, give
Hmm.
you time, but 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 soft.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um,
Uh,
who can help to usher you into a better place? If you having a crisis at that kind of time, or whatever, they can listen to you, help you to get it out, let you get it out, and that's a part of being a good friend. Let the person get it out. Whatever is in them, don't judge them. Let it put it all on the table. Have no judgment for it.
yeah,
Their ugliness, their nasty, whatever it is, because I got it too. There's times that I need to let it out, and I need a listening ear and somebody who's not gonna say look down on me or look, sideways or whatever.
yeah,
Let it out. And so, you know, those things are critically important. And
yeah,
as we, wind up our discussion tonight, I want to encourage everybody to make sure that you are building uh, for your future. Make sure you are every day putting in the work, putting in time and effort on rebuilding to get to the next level. Challenge yourself every day. If you want to lose weight, if you want to eat better, if you want to create a new network of friends, you want to date, you want to do whatever it is, make sure every day you're putting in effort, putting in work to rebuild right where you are. You ain't got to move, you ain't got to go nowhere. Stay right there. And so, if you got to tear the whole house down, get it down, back down to the foundation, tear it all down and rebuild it up. If God said He would do it again, and He will do it again, and He will do it again. So
yeah,
I'm just grateful for the again. So,
yeah.
um, but thank you. I want to just thank everybody for joining us tonight right here on the Aisha I Am Woman show, where needed conversations happen. We meet every Sunday evening right here on Megasource Entertainment. And I want to encourage you to come on and join us on Tuesday evenings right here, 6 o'clock Central Standard Time, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for the Rich Live show as he talks to the various guests and speaks to matters of the heart and things that matter to us. And then we want to come back on Wednesday for Wine Up Wednesday with DJ Red. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we have Dave Curtis who helps to get the body together. You want to exercise and get your life together. You want to lose the weight or stay fit. Tune in and watch Dave Curtis every Tuesday and Thursday at 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. And then you want to come back on Saturday evening right here for Rich Live, the best DJ online, on air, on the internet radio. He is the best DJ on Saturday nights. Then join me right here on Sunday evenings for the Aisha I Am Woman show on Mega Source Entertainment. I'm so thankful for you joining us tonight, and I want to encourage you to come back next Sunday as we talk more in depth on things that matter to women, young women, and girls. Today we will rebuilding and getting our lives together. So join me next week for another powerful and exciting conversation. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.